Hey, friends, it's good to see you. It's Thursday. That means it's time for the Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter recap. Do you get the Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter? It comes in your inbox every Wednesday. If you don't get it, there is a link in the description to read this week's newsletter and also a link to subscribe to the newsletter. We do a different topic every week, hence the title, Tarot Topics. This week, the topic is the power of yes and no. In the newsletter, I posit that the most magical words, the most powerful words are yes and no. What do you welcome? What do you embrace? And what do you say, yeah, no, I don't want that. But it's also true that a lot of us, and probably especially women, a lot of us were taught to not have opinions. We're taught to, it's impolite to say no. And, it's a hard thing to come into our power and recognize that we get to say, yes, I want this. No, I don't want this. And so that's what the newsletter's about. And it, kind of goes into the idea that all magic really is based at the most primitive level on yes and no, right? I want to increase this and I want to decrease this. That's what magic is. So let's take a look and see what we got going on. It is time to do some readings. Let's get over to CardCam, where you will see I am using the very beautiful Ethereal Visions Tarot. This was a gift from Melissa Grosso, so thank you. And I will admit to having removed the 2 extra cards. It just is what I did. All right. Let's get going. And the first question I see is Mediha Ness. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. And thanks for using members only emojis. Good morning. Yes and no. It's really how we live, the code of our life, like 0 and 1. Right. It is the initial and ultimate binary, right? It really is. And the question: how will my last yes turn out? About my sun year saga. You had said the sun card, the flowers are facing the child and the child is the sun. I found a quote by Rumi by chance. I had not heard of this one before, possibly because I didn't need to know it before. Though I grew up in his heritage, the quote is, if everything around you seems dark, look again, you may be the light. Oh, wow. That's fabulous. That is fabulous. All right, so how will the last thing you said yes to, how is that going to turn out? Let's see. It may not go exactly the way you hope, but in the long run, it's all good. It's all good. You have to let it unfold. Okay. Jeannie Mnuchin, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. I'd like to say yes to open studios, but still have no space. I am so sorry. You can't see CardCam because I didn't actually switch over to CardCam. I am so sorry. Thank you for letting me know, Gianna. Completely operator error, and I'm the operator. Hello. Okay, so what were the cards for Ness? The important card was the star. In the long run, the star. So I apologize, Ness, but the star was the card that was really important. Okay, so thank you for that, y'all. Let me know, man. It's a lot of buttons. That's all I can tell you. It's a lot of buttons. All right, Jeannie. I'd like to say yes to open studios, but still have no space. Will I find space soon enough so I can write a grant for a mini performance festival? Oh, ouch. Ouch, ouch. Interestingly, I think you will. It's a lot right now. Like you've got a lot on your plate and it feels like a lot. But if you want to do this, it can be done. And what can you know about finding that space? It's there. The space, you will find the space. If you're looking for it, you will find the space. The question is, with everything else you got going on, do you have the space for it? Like, I think you'll find the physical space, but do you have the space for it? And that is a question that only you can answer. But it is possible to do. That I can tell you. Yeah, make sure that I can't do anything about. They are shiny cards. We're working on the lighting, trying to get more cards more visible, but it is what it is. That one. Some things I can fix, some things I can't as easily. All right. Mixuir, good to see you. Thanks for being here. What are some things? What are some things that I may not have thought to say yes or no to that are in my highest good to do so? That is brilliant. That is a brilliant freaking question, which I will answer. I just love this feedback. This is so good. Because I had moved CardCam up to where it was supposed to go, but I still had one button to push that I neglected to push, so y'all weren't seeing it. And if I had just looked up and over to my left, I would have recognized it myself, but I didn't. And Ness says, no problem. It happened for a good reason. I would have gotten stuck with the not so good cards. I'm happy to know the star card, right? And I pulled 4 cards and the star was the last and the first 3 were the not so good. So yeah, it all works out. It all works out. All right, Mediha, Ness, thank you for that. Mixuir, here we go. What are some things that I may not have thought to say yes or no to that are in my highest good to do so? Say yes to the idea that you do not have to be stuck in certain situations that you feel stuck in. Say yes to the idea that you do not have to be stuck in certain situations that you may feel stuck in. Say no to anybody or anything that makes you feel less than, that makes you feel like your path is not valid, that makes you feel like you are not on your path. And that one, I know you know that one. But I also feel like there's been so much of that. There's been so much of that doubt hurled at you that there's now so much doubt within you that you needed that reminder. How about that? Let me know what you think. Karen Hendershot, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. What am I supposed to say yes to that I haven't? And the same with no. Okay, fair. I'm loving these questions. And y'all know when I'm writing the newsletter, I'm like, what kind of questions will people come up with about this topic? And y'all never disappoint. Okay. What am I supposed to say yes to that I haven't? Asking for help when you need it. Asking for help when you need it. You are the first in line to try to help other people, but it is so hard for you to ask for help. And what to say no to? Anything that is anything that you can avoid, that you can say no to. Some things I guess we really can't say no to. But anything that you can say no to that gets in the way of your creativity. Your creativity is the most essential spark within you that makes you feel like yourself. So anything that gets in the way of that, if you can say no to it, please do. Oh, Mixuir, thank you. This is such good advice. Sometimes you lose sight of your core when you have a lot coming at you that challenges it. We all do, for sure. Jeannie, thanks. If I find the space and get the grant, Open Studios isn't to November, which is after everything else. So yes, by then I could do it. So yeah, it's just I think the rush to find the space now and write the grant is hard with everything else you got going on, but I think you can do it. All right, 64, Amy Penn, so good to see you. What should I work on when saying yes or no? A great question. Work on the recognition that these things are a complete sentence. No does not need to come most of the time with explanation. And really neither does yes. That you don't need to worry about what the rest of the world thinks or says. You just have to be in alignment with the people that you have the most responsibility to, and most importantly with you yourself. There it is. Smile Soul 20, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Next question I see, Gianna. What do I need to start saying no to? Gianna, here we go. Self-doubt. Say no to self-doubt. Say no to self-doubt. Once with the truth stick. Say no to self-doubt. How about that? Melissa, thank you for these cards. I love them. I do recognize their full beauty does not show up well on cam, but I love them so much I couldn't help but use them. So here we are. I am one of those women who unfortunately was raised with the idea that it was not appropriate to have an opinion, right? I now find myself struggling to say no to things while also having a hard time seeing a clear yes. I've strengthened my opinions over the last few decades with much therapy and self-work. Amid this guilt for saying no or having a yes to move towards, I'd love to know what the universe wants me to say yes to. And thank you for using members only emojis, and thank you for sharing all of that. I think there's a lot of people here just like nodding their head like, yeah, we know what that feels like. You know, I know your experience is profound in this regard, but I think a lot of us have some shades of it for sure. What does the universe want you to say yes to? What does the universe want you to say yes to? So this is one of those great moments having to do with context. The Seven of Swords, the universe wants you to say yes to thievery? No, can't be. How do we interpret that? What does the universe want you to say yes to? Six of Swords, Seven of Swords. Three of Wands. All right. The universe wants you to say yes to your own truth. That Seven of Swords, you know, this is the Thieves card. This is the card about trust. You have to say yes to trusting yourself. That's the first thing. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your own opinions. Not only are you allowed to have them, you have to trust them. That's what this card is here. And then with the Six of Swords, to recognize that you are a logical thinker and can make good decisions. But all decisions emanate from that very first one, where you recognize that you can trust yourself. And then with that, you create whatever success you want, and you will know what success you want because you trust yourself. That's what it comes down to. Okay. Who is next? It's Rose Rose. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. I want to say yes to having my own home, but even wanting my own home is a rebellious act. Please help me to say yes to having my own home. Yeah, I understand the situation. Look at this. The Ten of Pentacles, which speaks both to generational stuff, which is the problem here, but also to real estate. And the bottom line is this. The first thing you have to say yes to is your own strength, your own agency, and your own truth. The more you do that, the more you will be able to say what you need and to do it in such a way that it can be heard. So it starts with you trusting yourself and trusting yourself to manage within your life. And from there, I think you can get what you want. Okay. Vaishali, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Glad you're here. Cards for today's topic, certainly. So we'll just do what do you need to be saying yes to right now? You are on a path that feels scary because it's hard for you to see how it's all going to go. Say yes to the career you want, even though it involves a path that feels scary, and say no to anyone who tries to scare you off it. Okay. Allie Mammon, we haven't seen you in so long. It's good to see you. What happened? Oh my gosh, will you please tell me if both my arms will heal healthily and with no complications? I am so sorry. I am so sorry that something has happened here. Rose, yeah, I know. The cards are pretty phenomenal sometimes, aren't they? For sure. So here we go. When we look at your healing process, I feel like what's being done to help you will be good. I feel good about this for you, and I'm so sorry that this has happened, but I feel good about your healing process. I really do. Melanie Clark, so good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. Glad you're here. What do I need to start saying no to? Same question for yes. Maybe help with some mental spring cleaning and insight. Absolutely. Say no to anything that makes you feel insecure or less than. Say yes to anything that makes you feel like you're on top of your game. It's that simple. Teresa, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for using members only emojis. We really appreciate you. Are my suspicions true? Yes or no? I don't think so. This is yes, this is no. I'm going to say maybe not. Maybe not. DH, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. What are things I may not have thought to say yes or no to that are for my highest good? What a good question. Say yes to your playful inner child and say yes to healing from things of the past. Say no to any sort of anger that rises up in a way that feels destructive. See what you think about that. All right. Baby Cakes, good to see you. Thanks for being here. You made Thai masa man curry soup and you didn't send me any. What? Had to say yes to cooking. Okay. Fair enough, man. I have never tried cooking Thai, but Thai is one of my favorite kinds of foods, so there is that. All right. What should I focus on when saying yes or no? Focus on being confident in yourself and knowing that you know what you want and that you have a right to want what you want and not want what you don't want. So just focus on your own strength. Okay. Joyous Ocean, I'm looking forward to your backstory. All right. Liz Harrison, you're up next. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Thanks for using members-only emojis. This topic has been one of my greatest and most freeing lessons, I'm telling you, that I've learned, and that explanations are not always required. Man, whoever came up with the phrase, no is a complete sentence, so good. So good. May I have for this a card for this topic with regards to what might be coming up for me? Okay. Explanations are not always required. There it is. There it is. My grandmother had an expression she used so much, my mother embroidered it on a pillow for her, and it was, never complain, never explain. I just love that. Never complain, never explain. Okay, so for you, no explanation required. What do you need to know about that? Well, it's completely the opposite of how you were raised. There is everything inside you. Like when you say no to something, every explanation is coming up, coming up, coming up. When you want to do something, when you say yes to something, you're like, I want it because, I want it because, I want it because. I don't want it because, I don't want it because. It's just so in you and it just wants to come out. I feel like you need to actively suppress it. Actively suppress the explanation. Shut your mouth and suppress it, and eventually the desire to explain will go away. And that will feel good. Okay. All right. Kanshin, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So for you, say yes to the future as you envision it, and say no to anyone who wants to tell you it's not possible. There it is. Okay, here it is. Ah, Liz, brilliant, and it feels so true. Yeah. You know, when I was doing this topic, I was like, either I've come up with something that is like very vital and essential, or I'm being silly. But what I'm hearing from you is it was the first. It's vital and essential. I love it. Joyous Ocean, this is interesting. Saying no to my kids, no problem. Saying no to yoga studios, unpaid speaking events, harder. I know, I understand. I absolutely understand. I get it. Okay, Joyous Ocean, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. I'm like a 6-year-old. How can I say no to the fun stuff and buckle down and make money from my business? How do I say yes and no to the right things for my financial bottom line? So hard. It's so hard. You have to think about the future. I mean, sometimes, like, I still say yes to unpaid events sometimes. And I know a lot of people are like, what? But I do, because sometimes it gets you in the right space at the right time and it's good for you. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's people just taking advantage of your labor. So what you have to be able to do, Dion, Joyce Ocean, what you have to be able to do is look to what will this get me? What will this get me? And if it's going to get you something good, then you say yes to it. If it's not going to get you something good, say no to it. What you want to say yes to in all of this is your ability to prognosticate what the effects of this will be. That's the key. Okay. Oh, interesting, baby cakes. Thank you for that. We're getting some Thai cooking lessons here, which actually I'm really excited about. Our local Thai restaurant, which I've always really loved, is not as good as it used to be, which makes me sad. We do have other Thai restaurants that I have to check out. But in my mind, Thai is something you either have to go to Thailand for or you get in a restaurant. I never thought about cooking it. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So, from my perspective, I have answered every question. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anyone? Is anyone just getting here? It is last call for readings, y'all. If I accidentally skipped you, please let me know, and we'll fix that right away. I will be getting the lives up for the weekend, for Friday and Saturday. I'll do that at some point today. Joyous Ocean, big expensive word, prognosticate. Well, you know, if you're a tarot reader, you learn that word because prognostication is what we do. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jackie Masters, good to see you. Do you have a question? I will be happy to go back to CardCam. Do you have a question about yes and no in your life? All right, so local people, we have our meetup this Sunday at Panera. Would love to see you there. There are links in the description, of course, to book a reading with me, to read this newsletter, to subscribe to the newsletter, and I hope you do. I am very grateful to all of you, especially to the members and to the moderators. And anything else we need to say on this fine Thursday? I'm sort of sitting here wondering if Jackie's going to give us a question. So, baby cakes, anytime, I'm obsessed. Yeah, absolutely. Here it is. We got it. Thank you, Jackie. How can the universe support me, and how does yes and no affect my life? So the universe can support you in your definitive decision making by helping you know that you have the ability to make wise decisions in your life. Like that's the key. You need to know that. That was quick. I'm at work and my boss is right next to me. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. And you know, it's all about your power, Jackie, to know what you want, to know what you love, to know what makes sense to you, and to ask for those things. And as long as you do that, you're good. Oh, Milk and Honey, here you are. Love your work and thank you. That's my contribution. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. If you have a question, I am here. I do appreciate you all. I do want to let you all know, too. I want to let you know that we are getting the website together for StarCon 5. I also want to let you know, if you are a StarCon 2024 ticket holder, we have 2 events in the lounges this Saturday, so make sure you check that out. Liz, thank you everyone. I so appreciate everyone, and hearing your readings has taught me so much. Thank you. Jackie, thank you. That makes perfect sense. Joyous Ocean, every reading was for me today. Gianna, I saw this cool video of a guy talking about how the secret of life was saying yes to the option in front of you, which most excites you. I love that. Yes, Absolutely. And Jackie, I need to embrace decision making. I hear and understand that. So I use tarot in decision making quite a bit. All right, my friends, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I will look forward to seeing you soon. I will be back tomorrow with the Friday Weekly Wrap Up. I'll get the link up for that today. Take good care. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.